him for today because I can see that Mr. REUBEN Abati is not here because I was not expecting him to be here because he took position of special assistant on media to Rotimi Amechi. He took position of spokesperson to Rotimi Amechi. So I was thinking that to be professional, to operate normally, REUBEN Abati will not be among those who will sit in the studio to interview me. I said that it will be on this side of the discussion this morning. So why I will be talking in defense or in support of the FCT Minister Wike, he will also be talking in support and in defense of Rotimi Amechi like he has been doing. And I said that probably he has been appointed as a special assistant on media to Amechi because I watched him like 2 or 3 or 4 days ago here saying that talking like the minister is rude, is this, and using unprintable words that I was not expecting to hear from somebody who has functioned as editorial chairman of Guardian newspapers. For somebody like that to come to studio and begin to call a minister rude in defense of Rotimi Amechi, because he was supposed to, in journalism, we are not supposed to have opinion. So I was shocked to hear him turning himself to spokesperson of Amechi. And I want to also suggest that since he's now Amechi's spokesperson, he should excuse himself from Arise TV and go and do his job properly. He should not be using a platform provided by respected Nigerians like Oga Nduka Obaigbena to ventilate his anger, his frustration, and his hatred for Wike. Because it is obvious that he hates Wike. He said here that Wike is rude. When he had issue with EFCC and he had to pay back the money he got from Dasuki money, from Dasuki loot, then the alleged Dasuki loot. He himself and his wife knew the road to Wike's house to go and beg for a bailout, which is obviously got. And Wike was not rude that time. Oga REUBEN Abati has always come to this station to present himself as a moral police, to postulate, present as a moral police. And he will not one day tell us that at one point in his life, he is a politician, a member of PDP. At some point in his life, he was PDP deputy governorship candidate in Ogun State. And he was comfortable having his picture displayed with that of somebody who was wanted by the American government for alleged drug trafficking. He was comfortable on the podium with somebody who was wanted by the American government for alleged drug trafficking. That is the person that will come here and pronounce with his mouth that a minister of this, a former governor, a minister, somebody he once ran to for help, and call that person a rude person. It is to me, I never believe that kind of word, but you know him. He's a bully like he has always been. Even you that you are talking to me now, I've seen videos in the studio bullying you, telling you that you did not respect him. You did not call him Oga, even you that are his colleagues, on live TV. So I want to commend the management of Arise TV for taking him.
All right, Barrister. Sorry for viewers, that was long, but I actually wanted to get to that last thing he talked about, REUBEN Abati. Now we're talking about REUBEN Abati. Now, this man was responding to the other clip of REUBEN Abati we played. You heard how REUBEN Abati dismantled Wike. It was serious dismantling. So this man probably is a Wike man who came to sort of defend Wike and attack. As a result of that, attacked REUBEN. But in reality, everything that man talked about, we have me personally. Okay, not you, but me personally, I've been a critic of REUBEN Abati for a very long time. Even when he was, I don't know if you remember this program he did with Patu Tommy, Patito's Gang, whatever. Are you aware of that? Did you watch that program then? Okay, yeah, it was a late night. It was a late night program there. I think it was played around 11 p.m. then, those days or whatever. So I've been a critic of him. I watched that program. I've always never liked his opinion on that show. Sort of. So I've been a very strong critic of Ruben Abati, honestly. So, and he is just this man. This man, everything this man talked about him is just the truth. Ruben Abati is arrogant. He is egocentric. He is proud. He is rude as well. He is a bully. He has that man. That man said everything. Look, I've been following Ruben Abati for a very long time. The truth is, that man is everything, even more of what that man said he is. Ruben Abati is everything they said he is, and I said he is. That is just the reality. He's so, I don't know why. Anyway, his name is why he's still with Arise. The truth is that Ruben Abati is an intelligent man. He's an eloquent man. There's no doubt about that. He's a brilliant man. To listen to his analysis, it's a man that actually knows what he says, and I've followed him over the years. But the thing is that he's not just a sycophant, he's a hypocrite. I remember when he was a spokesman to Goodluck Jonathan, then yes, it's as corrupt as others, because, and besides, I remember when he ran for deputy governorship candidate of I think Osun State then, right? Yes.
Ogun State.
Ogun, yeah. Honestly, I just smiled. I just shook my head. I say, you just know this man. This man does not have the charisma to be a politician. No, one person, he won't even get one vote. The man does not have it in his vein. He's just better an analyst than any other thing or whatever, a journalist. So that is just it. Barrister, what is your take on this? I don't know. You've not spoken anything much about. I don't know if you've been following Ruben Abati over the years.
What I try to do is to separate the messenger from the message.
Yes, correct.
In this case, this man who is talking now, Larry Olayinka, is the special senior assistant to Wike on media. He's Wike's official spokesperson. And he has gone into Wike's character. There's nothing anybody will say somewhere that Larry will now come out against Wike, that he will not come out and respond. So I just found him to now to adopt the character of his boss and master. Almost every day or every week, you are hearing Larry coming out to talk against people who have said one thing or the other against Wike. Now, you come to criticize somebody. All the things that Ruben Abati said, you are now talking about Ruben's character, that he's this, he's that. Respond to the things that Ruben said. Is Wike not rude? These are not. If you take the pool of Nigerians, you have 90-something% that will agree with you that he's rude. Some of those things that Ruben Abati said against Wike, are they true or false? They are all true. Now you now leave that and go to how Ruben Abati went to get help from Wike. That's, by the way, is that not how he came to know Wike in and out, by associating with him? Or the fact that he sought help from Wike, does it now mean that when he's analyzing things for the benefit of Nigerians, he will not say the truth because of what the help that Wike had rendered him in the past? These are the things we have to look at. Now, you talk about Ruben Abati standing beside Bushunu, this Bushunu that was wanted by the U.S. for drug peddling. You know, he fought that for 15 years. And he eventually died. Ruben Abati was his deputy governorship candidate in Ogun State. Now you are bringing that Ruben did not have the shame to stand side by side with Bushune. What about Wike standing side by side with Tinubu, who forfeited drug money? Which one is even worse? At least Bushune was never tried. He was only accused. In this case, Tinubu forfeited drug money, and people are standing with him. Your boss, whom you are speaking on behalf, is standing side by side without shame. But you see shame in Reuben Abati standing with somebody wanted for drug. So you see, this is how to obfuscate, to confuse issues, to drag issues away from the main things that people are or want to hear about, to confuse the whole, muddle the whole atmosphere, muddle the waters, so that the main things being said is lost in the process. This is classic journalistic approach. And I can see how he's doing it, taking away the storyline from what it was. Reuben is talking about a public official. For now, he is not. He is not a public official today. He was once, but he's not. He is doing journalism. Wike is a public official. He is the minister of the FCT. He is actively involved in the politics and the running of Nigeria. Reuben has the right to examine his actions and to critique it on national television. I think we should put Reuben's character aside and look at what he said against Wike and see whether there is sense, there is truth, there is honesty in the way he says it. And we will agree, we have already agreed that everything that Reuben Abati said about Wike is correct. I wanted Wike spokesman to say, no, Wike is not rude, Wike is not a disloyal, Wike is not this, Wike is not that, and give reasons and give examples. But no, he will not tackle that. He will not go to those specifics. He will go on a tangent. And that is what is all about.
All right. Honestly, I'm glad you are taking a completely different. You saw a different thing from what I saw there. You're taking completely different position from what I expected you to say. A sort of. However, yes. When we talk about personality, you just mentioned. I agree with you completely. Everything Wike is. We have talked about Wike. We've been criticizing Wike forever. So everything you said is just everything there is perfect. You are right on point. However, when you talk of personal character, what you just analyze is the personal character of Wike as well. So, because one thing is you are pointing one finger at someone, while 4 or 3 are being pointed at you, at yourself. That's exactly what that's why I call Reuben that is a hypocrite. You just mentioned this. You just mentioned. Hold on, let me land. You just mentioned this guy that this everything you said about Wike's spokesperson and Wike himself personifies hypocrisy. That's exactly what I pointed out in the life of Reuben Abati. Why Reuben Abati was busy criticizing everything Reuben Abati said about Wike in the previous clip I played. Everything there is absolutely. He was on point, absolutely on point. I was on him. I told you one thing. I'm that kind of person who no matter how bad you are, even if I don't hate people as a person. I don't hate people. I only hate the tendency, whatever or any evil or mischievous tendencies or traits in them is what I hate. So the moment you do anything, such personality, if you say anything or do anything that is good, I will commend you. And if you say anything like that, I'll commend you and still criticize your personality, who you are, what you do, the evil things you do. That's exactly what I'm doing now. Reuben Abati, like I said, he's an intelligent person, a brilliant guy. He's a very good analyst. He talks with facts and whatever. There's no doubt about that. Not all things he talks about. When it comes to international stuff, when it comes to the US, he doesn't speak with facts. Unfortunately, that is why I say he's a hypocrite. He does not operate on the same standard. So, again, Reuben Abati is not morally justified to call people names, or call names that he himself personifies. Rude, arrogance, hypocrisy. Those names, he personifies that. And that's exactly what he's calling is calling Wike. So go ahead.
The difference here is that Wike is a public official for now, and Abati is not. Wike is taking decisions that affect Nigerians Wike is corroborating in the running of the country. Wike is working for Tinubu to come back in 2027. There is a world of difference between him today and Reuben Abati. So we cannot lose sight of the difference, the current difference in their portfolio, one private and one public.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If Reuben Abati comes out today, despite all what we know him to be, to criticize Wike, we should look at the message and leave him alone. Because for now, he does not hold public office.
I disagree.
You can say it's hypocritical, but I would rather look at what he is saying, whether it is true or not. And I will stop at that. I will stop at that. For me,
yes, I respect your opinion, but the truth is that I disagree with you on that, because but you and I agree and believe that he was once a politician. So he was once a politician. Now he's a journalist. He has gone back to his journalism. But at the same time, as a journalist and a human being, you do not have the moral right, or you don't have the moral justification. Not moral, you have the right, but you do not have the moral justification to criticize someone about something even you yourself you exhibit. That is my own problem. My own point is that even if let me even be frank, for the kind of person I am, I criticize people based on if anything I know that I do. Ordinarily, naturally you do. You see me. I don't go out to criticize someone else doing that stuff. I don't do that. I will not even gather this team to do that, because there's no element of, I don't have, when it comes to hypocrisy, it's not in my DNA. So even if I were a journalist and I did something in the past, and now I come back being a journalist in Reuben's shoes, honestly, if I was a culprit in some kind of vice in the past, honestly, I would be very careful in criticizing anyone that did the same thing or that does the same thing. That is what that's the message I'm trying to pass across here. That's the point I'm trying to make. So the Reuben Abati that said all those things or whatever, he too, when he was a politician, what did he do? That's exactly the same thing.
Like you said, he may be hypocritical, but I insist that we do not throw away the baby with the
I agree with
bathwater.
you. Yes,
and
of
we
course.
also try to separate the messenger from the message and dwell on the message, which is more important than the messenger.
All right. Anyway, let's move forward. Okay, we disagree. We agree to disagree, and all of them. So that's fine. No problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, I didn't expect you to go a different way, but it's exciting to me. I felt impressed that okay, you actually took a different understanding from what I had on what I